Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for UFC Vegas 94. This is a full card prediction show, and I got the locks finally on this show for you guys. I'm going to give them out for absolutely free. I'm going to give out my dog of the week, my most confident dog. So all what you got to do is like the video, suplex the subscribe button if you have not yet. Hope you enjoy the show. I'm going to go through it pretty quick because this card stinks. We got another headlining women's main event. Amanda Lemos, Bruno, Jandiroba, and we're going to wind things down and lock in once again. We're going to start it off with the first fight of the night, end it off with the main event there. And I got some dogs, a lot of dog picks. Last week, my three locks were women's fighters, and they won. We hit the locks. We hit the dog, Julian Erosa. Juicy J was smoking hot. He got the win. We got a bunch of profit. We're up 25 units from UFC Denver. So can we do it again at the Apex? Maybe, maybe not. But we're going to have one hell of a time breaking these fights down. We're going to go through it as fast as possible, give you as much information as possible, and we're locking in because the lock streak, once again, is hot. We have 6 in a row. We're going to lock in another 3. And if you don't agree with these 3, that's completely fine. I'm just letting you know what I'm doing each and every week, giving you my confident plays, giving you my plays that I have somewhat faith in, like the dog of the week. It's not always a very confident pick, but it's my most confident pick that is an underdog. So if you like the pick, you can tail along, bet lightly. Don't bet what you're not willing to lose, first and foremost. So on the locks, the wager I'm willing to lose at worst case, Ontario. I'm willing to lose that bet. I don't want to lose it, but I'm willing to, right? So you got to bet accordingly, manage the bankroll wisely, and you should be fine. Hopefully we profit some money on this stinky fucking card. And we're starting it off with a heavyweight fight. Mohammed Usman, Thomas Peterson, and yes, I have no tail the tape content. That's not like me, but I am super busy this week. I'm going to fly through these predictions, give you my picks, some confident levels, method of victories, but no tail the tape content. I'm sorry, but I got the locks ready. I got the dog of the week ready, so let me get through it. Mohammed Usman should win this fight. He's motivated, coming off a loss to Mick Parkin there by a decision. He's very tough to finish, even though he's been hit. We've seen him battle tough and strong. I think he is the tougher and stronger fighter in this fight at heavyweight. He's more muscular. He can get takedowns and secure the control time, and that's what's going to matter. Thomas Peterson could get a takedown or two, but it's going to get reversed, and he will get controlled. He's coming off a loss to Jamal Pogues, bro. I can't pick this underdog, Peterson, to win. It's relatively close, so I do like a play on Mohammed Usman here. I think he wins the decision. He could find that knockout punch. You only seen him knock out a light heavyweight, Zach Paga, so I'm not loading up on that knockout prop. I am somewhat confident that he could find a knockout in this fight. We've seen him win 2 decisions against Junior Tafa and Jake Collier. He is due for a finish. I would love to see one. He is Kamaru Usman's brother. He should have a little bit more power than what he's possessing right now. It looks like he doesn't have much for the size of him. So maybe this is the fight he gets the knockout. Either way, a slight favorite. I think he will win the fight. He likes to get it done by a decision. So at this price, I like the money line play. He's in a parlay already for Platinum Forecasters, $5 a month. We also have a membership set up now to become a Platinum Forecaster on YouTube. So I'll post some bets in there as well. For $5 a month, you can become a Platinum member right now on YouTube. It's the same perks as Patreon, but now everything is accessible on YouTube. Finally got accepted and approved, so please join. $5 a month. We got super chats, super thanks, everything like that now. So we're getting bigger, we're getting stronger, just like Mohammed Usman. He's the pick, rightful favorite, in my opinion. Next fight of the night, Luana, Carolina, Lucie Pudilova. This girl, she's pudding. Pudilova. She loses a lot of decisions. Her last two are decision losses. Is she due for a win? I don't think so. She's fighting a girl coming off 2 wins. Luana Carolina. Now, the 2 losses are to Alin Perez, unanimous decision. Jocelyn Edwards, split decision. Battling close, but not getting it done. Luana Carolina finished Julia Stolarenko. I'm butchering her last name. Stolarenko. Knocked her out there from crucifix position. I think she can get some really good control time that might lead to a submission, a knockout finish. I think Carolina at a coin flip price, and with 80% of people on Topology picking her to win, is quite sharp. You can get a pretty valuable price on her at a coin flip against Lucie, who last beat a girl that was 13-5 by knockout, elbows from back mount. I don't think she's going to have the control time on the ground or the position to have success. Now, a win before that came to a girl that was 8-4. I mean, I will never and cannot in this fight pick a girl with wins like that. At least a win to Ivana Petrovic, 6-0, looks pretty good at this point. Undefeated fighter beating her. Now, Julia Stolarenko there, 11-7, isn't great, but she is a finisher, and she has a lot of submissions. So to have her in a crucifix and do that to her, I think that's quite impressive. Coming off 2 wins, momentum is rolling. Luana Carolina, pretty high confidence pick. This is not normal. Okay, this is not normal. We've seen both these fighters fight multiple times before, but here's the thing. If it's a women's fight, if it's a male fighter fighting, you just got to trust in your instinct on who's going to win. Now, I'm more confident in Carolina than Mohammed Usman. I'm more confident in Carolina than half this goddamn card. So, with that being said, I will lock her in. I will trust my instinct. And if you don't like the locks of the week, go listen to somebody else who's not 6 in a row on the locks of the week. And if this is a lock that doesn't hit, I'm sorry. I'll come back, get revenge as I always do. I'm consistent as hell. Subscribe now. If you agree, if you're seeing it the same way, let's go. You don't have to play it inside the distance. You don't have to play her by a decision. Play her to win. Take the 2 other locks that I have to offer. And we're going to 6 times our money. We're going to get paid. And the fiends are going to eat. Lucie Pudilova might turn to pudding in this fight. And we're all going to take advantage and have a nice taste of this win here. I think Luana Carolina, if it's a finish, a decision, I think she is the rifle side. And I think she's going to rightfully dominate. I hope so, because these women's fighters, you never know when they're going to show up, when they're not going to show up. Pudilova coming off 2 losses. She's probably pissed off. One of them was a split decision. Now, I understand how sketchy it is, but I'm pretty confident in Luana Carolina here. I'm going to stick with it, trust in the guns, and we're going to break down the next fight. Loik Radzhabov and Trey Ogden, another coin flip, another 50-50 fight. Now, each and every fight you don't have to bet on. You don't have to pick with high confidence. This one is fairly low. It's medium. And it is a male fighter. It's not a female fight. I'm more confident in the female pick. And that seems to be the case these 2 weeks. Last week and this week. It's going to be 2 weeks of high confidence picks that are women. If you don't like it, it is what it is. We're going to deal with what's dealt, and we're going to get paid. Last week we sure did. So if you're going to fade it, don't get paid. It's not my problem, really, unless the locks don't hit. So let's hope they do. Loik Radzhabov, Trey Ogden. I'm not going to have to worry here. I'm not betting this one. I'm not touching this one. Trey Ogden, he's a guy I usually fade. I don't give enough credit to. Now in this fight, I will pick him to win. He had a great submission attempt that should have been a submission. It was a premature stoppage against Nicholas Mota. He is more live for a submission in this fight, in my opinion. He's going to have the better takedown defense, possible takedowns of his own, better control up against the fence. His striking isn't bad either. His striking is improving, so I'll give him credit where credit is due. Ignacio Bahamondes, that's a good loss. His loss to Jordan Leavitt, I know you got to leave it alone with that guy, but split decision. He was 9-1 at the time. The Monkey King isn't a horrible fighter to lose to at that point in his career 2 years ago. Now, Loik Radzhabov, you look at him 2 years ago, he lost to a guy outside of the UFC who was 14-3 at the time. Not overly impressive. He lost to Mateus Rebecki and got smoked with that overhand left, so I don't know if we can trust his chin, but we definitely can trust Trey Ogden not getting a knockout, right? So it's a submission decision for Trey Ogden. It's obvious as day. But at 50-50 and seeing Radzhabov with 80% of Topology picking him to win, I'm just going to completely fade that public. I'm going to fade everybody listening now taking Radzhabov. I'm thinking Trey Ogden at a 50-50 price tag with all these people taking Radzhabov is the right side. He's going to get it done. Probably not a submission, probably a decision. That's how it's going to go. That's my prediction. And let's see how the forecast goes this week. It's a tricky card. It's a stinky card to predict. You know, I'm not enjoying these predictions a whole lot. I like to give you more confidence in my picks and give you high confidence picks that aren't women. You know, it's hard to trust those girls sometimes. Last week they were good, so we're going to trust in the guns right now. We got another women's fighter that's a rightful favorite. 90% of people picking her to win on Topology. You're picking her to win, aren't you? Miranda Maverick against Dione Barbosa. Now, Barbosa, she won her last 4. She's due for the loss. She fought that 4-1 underdog, Ernesta Kruschewsky, where I had Ernesta in that fight. She didn't get it done. It was pretty close, though. That was fucking 2 months ago. And now she's stepping back in to fight a girl that's much higher level, Miranda Maverick. They're giving Miranda Maverick another win. Get her up. Get her comfortable. Get her another finish win, potentially, too. Now, she had a unanimous decision win to Andrea Lee. Before that, she got a submission. And it was an armbar to Priscilla Cachoeira. She had another finish to not Shayna Young. She got a decision versus her. She was able to finish Sabina Mazo submission. Another one there. So the submission is very live. A lot of people thinking it's going to be a decision, though. I'd be careful playing the props. This is another one you could play submission or a decision. Double chance this one. I think Miranda Maverick, though, is the rightful fucking favorite. She's the rightful side, and she's going to get it done. She's going to get us paid. As the favorite, I'm locking in. Once again, a women's fighter. If you like it or not, Miranda Maverick's getting it done. And with Carolina, that's going to boost the parlay up. We got one more lock. And you probably know who it is. It's going to be Verna Jandiroba or Amanda Lemos, whatever pick I'm choosing there. I'm going to lock one of those girls in with these two. We're getting paid. We're taking 3 women's fighters as the locks. And if you don't like it, I mean, so be it. We'll see how it goes. I have a lot of hope in these 3 locks. Normally I don't take 3 women's fighters, go heavy. But at the end of the day, after doing my research, if I land on 3 women's fighters, and I think they're the 3 best picks to parlay up, the 3 most confident ones that are going to get us paid, that's what I'm going to do. There's a lot of fights here that are 50-50. They're sketchy. I mean, the Trey Ogden pick could be correct. The Mohammed Usman pick could be correct, and they could finish easy, but I'd rather trust in my instinct and do what's safe. I think Luana Carolina, Miranda Maverick, and the final pick are all safe, rather if you agree or not. This is what I do. Last week I did it, and I plan to do it once again. Some of you are aware how consistent I am and how often we get on a heater. We're on a 6-fight win streak here with the locks. I'm locking in 3 women's fighters. I'm really risking it for the biscuit once again, but I really don't care. I really trust in these 3 picks, and that's what I'm here to do. Give you my picks that I have confidence in. Put my ass on the line. And hopefully get you paid, because last week that was fun. Especially with the dog of the week, right? So that was a big bet. I have 2 dogs coming up here next that I'm going to predict, and I did not know which one to take. Okay, Brian Kelleher and Cody Gibson. How is Cody Gibson a favorite? He is no monster. He has no fight left in him, in my opinion. Kelleher, you're probably thinking, this guy lost his last 3 fights. He's been finished in every one of those fights. He's older. Is he older? Yeah. He's a year older. But yeah, he has a fucking 7-inch reach disadvantage as well. It's not looking good for Brian Boone Kelleher. It doesn't look like he has much fight left in him either, to be honest. But I'm going to trust that he's been around longer. He hasn't been cut yet. Cody Gibson's been cut from the UFC. He's left the promotion. He's coming back in here. Losing 2 fights to Brad Katona and Miles Johns does not look good. He doesn't look great in his fights, and I don't know if he's still UFC caliber. At one point he was, but at this point I don't know if he is. Brian Kelleher, he's been around. He's on the chopping block now. 3 fight losses in a row. He's an underdog plus 170. I almost made him the dog of the week, but I am picking him to win with low to medium confidence. If you want the confidence levels, the forecasted percentage, method of victories, I mean, it's $5 a month. You can join on YouTube right now. You can join on Patreon and get exclusive early access to the picks, to the bets, and to the line movement tracker as well. I'm going to make that up, and you're going to be able to see any line movement throughout the week. So if Brian Kelleher goes from plus 170 to plus 190, plus 200, we're going to be aware, and we're going to jump on that bet. Because I don't have a bet on Kelleher yet. There's no big boom on this play. It's just a pick. It's going to be a potential bet. Brian Kelleher, money line. And I'm breaking down the next fight. This is a pretty greasy fight to talk about, honestly. Kelleher and Gibson. 37, 36. It doesn't get me out of my seat, you know what I mean? Doesn't really get me too excited. Two guys that aren't going to be around too much longer. Not the most exciting guys. I mean, you could make an argument for them, but I'm not gonna. I'm not here to do that. I'm here to give you my pick, how confident I am in the pick, and to see if we can make some money on that pick or not. Brian Kelleher, I think there is potential at the price the bookies have him set at. So we're going to break down the next fight next. I have much higher confidence in this pick here. Hyder, Amil, undefeated. And this guy is 34. He still has a lot of fight left in him. He's a plus 150 dog, and he's fighting a guy that is the Korean Tiger, Jeong Lee. There's a couple South Koreans on this card, and I have no confidence in these guys. Now, this guy's 11-1. He looks pretty good. He just beat Blake Builder, and he's a favorite. Everybody's picking him to win, 80% on Topology again, but it makes no sense because he had a split decision fight before that, and he's lost a decision before. He's fighting on the Asian regional scene. He's not overly active, and you got a dog on the other side, Hyder Amil, undefeated. He fights like a hurricane. His nickname's the Hurricane. We're the Fight Fiend forecast, and we're fully aware of what he's going to do on Saturday night. I got to take him to win. I already have a bet down on him. He's already the dog of the week on Patreon. He's slowly taking steps up in competition. He's looking improved each and every fight. For being 34 years old, it's kind of a slow start for him in his career, but you know, he's been fighting his whole life. He has a big heart. Dana White Contender Series, won that fight unanimous decision against a 14-4 opponent. Beat Fernie Garcia by knockout. Beautiful knockout punch there. Standing knockout. Fernie was 10-4. Fernie's been losing a lot of decisions, but he hasn't been finished many times. Hyder Amil was able to finish him, put him away. Hyder is getting better. You got to trust in him to win in this fight, I think. At plus 150, the Korean Tiger hasn't fought in 5 months. He's been more active recently. Let's see if he's really that guy. I don't think he is. These South Koreans, I can't trust in them right now. There's one South Korean fighter I am picking to win with high confidence, but other than him, these guys have a lot to prove to me. I'm not trusting in them as a favorite. That is crazy. Especially against undefeated Hyder Amil, the Hurricane. He's going to fight like a hurricane on Saturday night. You got to trust in me. Julian Erosa was a great pick last week, and I'm hoping Hyder Amil can look just as good this week. Get the knockout finish, or just get the decision win. I don't care. Whatever he has to do to get his hand raised, I'll be happy. He's definitely the pick, and he's certainly the dog of the week, and he'll be barking all night long. So we got a lot of dog picks, but only one that is the most confident one on this entire event of 12 fights. So the next fight here, Choi against Bill Algeo. I'm not taking this dog, and this is an underdog that is South Korean. Now these guys, I'm telling you, this guy's 14-4. I'm not trusting in this guy either. He just went to a majority draw with a guy that Bill Algeo got knocked out to. But Algeo's been around the block. He has much higher level experience, in my opinion. He has more credible experience, and he should get this done. Decision win, get the job done, get home, unpack the bags, and relax. Shitty Bill is going to show up for this fight. He should. He lost his last one. It's not going to be impressive. It's not going to be overly exciting. He's going to have to really stay safe. These South Koreans are wild. They're fast. So if he can stay safe and be aware and calculated, he should pace his way to a decision, get the job done, get his hand raised. But I'm not looking to bet it at minus 160, honestly. I think he'll win, but I don't have him in a parlay. He's not in my most confident parlay. He's pretty far down on the tickets, to be honest. These South Koreans, they could show up and be super fast and accurate. So I just want to kind of sit back, relax, enjoy, see what happens. Because really anything can happen. It's mixed martial arts. People are standing there throwing fists at each other. And this fight night is a little bit earlier as well. It's a 5 o'clock start time. So there's going to be a lot of eyes from South Korea, I do believe. We'll see what happens. Like, Doohood Choi, I really don't like. He got knocked out to Charles Jourdain. And Jeremy Stephens lost a decision to Cub Swanson 7 years ago. He's been in the UFC for a very long time, but very inactive. And, he hasn't won in a very long time, since 2016. Like, this obviously would be the spot he gets to win against Shitty Bill, but you know what I mean? I already warned you, don't bet on Shitty Bill. Just stay away. There's a lot better fights to bet on. A lot higher confident picks for me on this card. Just like Luana Carolina, Miranda Maverick. There's 2 picks. High confidence that I already mentioned. 2 locks of the week. Rather, if they're female, male, it doesn't matter. They're the locks, and they're expected to win. Now, this next fight, anybody could be expected to win. I didn't know who was going to be the favorite. Bruno Silva's coming back, 2-year layoff, 3-fight win streak, finish after finish. He has 2 knockouts against JP Buys, Victor Rodriguez, 7-3 Victor Rodriguez. Not a very high-level, credible win there, but a win is a win 3 years ago. Last year, he beat Tyson Nam, almost 2 years ago, and he's looking pretty good. He's getting the finish. Cody Durden is finishable. He got finished in his last bout to Gear Ulanbekov. But before that, 4 wins in a row. Decision win to Charles Johnson, is looking damn good. A decision win to Jake Hadley, looking pretty good as well. I think he can outlast Bruno Silva, have the better cardio, have some good takedowns, control time in this fight to get it done by a decision. Now, Bruno Silva is going to be live for a submission potentially. He's really good. It looks right now on the record. He won his last 3 fights, all by finish. Has a little break as well there, almost 2 years. Maybe he's really improved, working hard. He looks to be, because he's calling out Mohammed Mokaev, so we have to be super aware of Bruno Silva in this fight. He's confident in his abilities. He thinks he's ready to fight Mohammed Mokaev and give him a go, but in this fight we're going to see how big of a monster he is. I'll go Cody Durden for the pick. Very low confidence, but don't go and bet this fight, honestly. I don't know if it's going to be an over, under. I don't know who's winning this fight. It's a low confidence pick, 55%. Cody Durden decision. He could get finished. It's not a scenario that is out of the question. I don't trust in Cody Durden a whole lot. I'm not trusting in Bill Algeo a whole lot. I can't trust in Trey Ogden a whole lot. I can't trust in Mohammed Usman a whole lot. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. We've learned throughout the last number of months, as we've been improving and getting bigger and stronger, we're not making the same mistake twice. But I will do what we're not supposed to do and lock in a women's fighter. Because last week it was successful and my instincts are tingling. I think the women's fighters are going to show up and look like monsters this weekend and make us some money. Trust in that instinct all night long. All week long. All day long on Saturday. I really can't wait, because Saturday is the day we get to see how good our picks are, how good the forecast really is. Last week it was pretty good. Not bad. So let's see if this card here can produce. I know it's looking a little stinky right now, but we're going to make it smell a little bit better by the end of the week here. Next up, we got Kurt Holobaugh and Kaynan Kruschewsky. And this is another 50-50 fight. These fights are priced pretty close this week. And it's really tough to make a pick on some of them. like I said, a lot are low confidence, medium confidence, not looking to bet a whole lot. So you got Kurt Holobaugh coming in here against a guy that's fairly new to the UFC, just got knocked out to Elfsbrenner, Kaynan Kruschewsky, and I like the Brazilians, but this guy here as a favorite, I don't trust that at all whatsoever. I think Kurt Holobaugh has the dog in him. I think he's going to show up and have the grit, push forward, get the win. Now, if it's a knockout finish, submission finish, I think he will get a finish and go for it. Now, he got it against Austin Hubbard. It was a submission, it was a triangle choke, and it was a dangerous one. Kruschewsky has 2 losses, both by knockout. That's why I think maybe his chin isn't the best. He can't handle the pressure. He can't handle the power coming from Kurt Holobaugh, who's going to be fighting like a junkyard dog. So I'd play it inside the distance, play it safe. Now, I do like the submission for Kurt Holobaugh, but the knockout is very live. Kruschewsky just got knocked out in his last fight in the very first round. In 2019, he got knocked out to a guy that was 12-5 in the first round with a very clean punch. Kurt Holobaugh is live for the knockout. He's live for the submission. I'm taking him to win at plus 110. The bookies have made a mistake, and the public are ignorant on this pick. Kurt Holobaugh is a dog. He will fight for your money. Now, a lot of people are sharp and they agree with me. I know who you are. But a lot of you don't agree with this pick, and it might cost you some money. Kruschewsky is a new fighter here that I really cannot trust. He's a Brazilian that I cannot put money on. You know, it is what it is. I'm not chasing bags on this Brazilian. Most of the time I do, but some of the time I don't. This guy here, he's fought a guy that was 5-1 before the Contender Series. On the Contender Series, Dylan Mantello was 7-2. That's not overly impressive. Before that, 10-5 submission win for him. 8-3 knockout win at Jungle Fight Club. I mean, he's 15-2. Looks like he has a ton of experience. It looks like he's super good, but let's see how that chin can hold up. He's been knocked out twice in the first round. I don't know how good he is on the ground. I know Kurt Holobaugh has a lot of game there. Hopefully he takes the fight to the floor and gets the job done. Ground and pound, submission. Let's just get it done, Kurt Holobaugh, and prove everybody wrong here. We got lots of hope with the picks. Couple underdogs. Couple women locks. It is what it is. We're going to have some fun. We're going to entertain, and it's going to be one hell of a night once again. And next up, we got 3 fights left, and we're talking about Steve Garcia, who could be in a co-main event spot. He won his last 3 all by knockout. Pretty credible wins as well. He's fighting a guy here who's really set up to get slaughtered. And I said the last 2 South Koreans were set up to get slaughtered too, so I feel bad for these guys. But the Sting, Sang-Won Choi here, he's not looking that great. Before his last fight, he lost 3 in a row. Let's talk about those fights. Joshua Coulibaly, split decision, not bad. Caceres submission loss. And then most recently, Michael Trizano knocked him out. So, ding, ding, ding. Steve Garcia knocked out Male Cozale Costa, Shaylin Nerdenbike, and Chase Hooper. He's really looking like a monster. He has the momentum. He's going to make us some money. Simple as that. Steve Garcia is going to knock out the Sting within the first 2 rounds. That's what I'm seeing. That's what the bookies are seeing. That is what most people on Tapology are seeing. You don't have to agree. You can agree. You probably do. But Sang-Won Choi, he hasn't really been able to get the win. He is 11-6. He's obviously setting up to get slaughtered here. The Sting is not looking like a threat. He just beat Jarno Aarons by a unanimous decision that he really barely got that win. His other win before that was to Julian Erosa. Left hook, ground and pound. That was 3 years ago. Found the chin of Erosa. Credit to him for the win. But Steve Garcia hits a lot harder than Julian Erosa. He's a better striker. He has a better chin. Yeah, I don't see much positive for the Sting in this fight. I'm going with the favorite for a knockout, Steve Garcia. I could see it ending in the first round, maybe second. Which am I going to choose? He won his last 2 fights in the second round, knocked out Hooper in the first. Trizano knocked out Sang-Won Choi in the first round, I do believe. So Steve Garcia probably only needs about 5 minutes in there to find this knockout punch. I'd probably go first round knockout punch, Steve Garcia, simple as that. On to the co-main event, Brad Tavares and the one South Korean I'm picking to win, the Iron Turtle, baby. Fucking, what's his name here? Jeong Park. So, their names are pretty hard to pronounce. They're wild, crazy. Like 3 names. But this guy, he's been around the block. He's had some good wins. He has 4 wins out of his last 5. Tavares has 2 out of his last 5. I mean, it's pretty obvious. There's a couple South Koreans on the card. There's a South Korean in the co-main event. Like, it's just quite obvious who's going to win this fight, if you know what I'm saying. I feel like they want Jeong Park to get back in the win column after a loss to Andre Muniz by split decision that he almost won to go 5 fights in a row. You know, get back in the win column here on a card that a lot of South Koreans might be watching because there's a lot of South Koreans on the card. And it's against a credible guy, Brad Tavares. He went the distance with Israel Adesanya, Dricus du Plessis, who are going to be fighting for the middleweight championship. But he also fought Gregory Robocop Rodriguez in his last fight 6 months ago, 5 months ago. Got finished by knockout. He is usually tough. He's hard to finish, but he got knocked out. He's wearing down. He's the older fighter as well in this fight. He's 36. Jeong Park is 33. He has a lot of submission wins, but I don't know if Tavares has ever been submitted. He hasn't. He's only been knocked out 5 times. I don't really like Jeong Park for a knockout. He could with that ground and pound because he has great crucifix positions. He has great control when the fight gets to the ground, so I could definitely see a ground and pound opportunity unfold, but I like him to win. Knockout, submission, decision. I think Jeong Park, anywheres in this fight, is going to dominate. He's going to look really good, and he's set up in a favorite spot to win. The UFC matchmakers did a good job putting him in the co-main event spot. Being a South Korean, having a bunch of other South Koreans on the card, it's clearly a spot for the South Korean to get the win here. The other guys might not fare out. Sorry to them, they might get slaughtered, but they're going to finish the night off, co-main event spot, give the South Korean a big win. Could be a submission, he has a couple of those, but Brad Tavares has never been submitted. He's a tough son of a bitch. He's probably losing a decision or getting knocked out because he's been knocked out 5 times. He's really not that tough because he's been knocked out 5 times. Jeong Park has a couple knockouts, but recently we've been seeing the submission. You never know what can happen. It's MMA. And we're going to end off the prediction show with the main event of the evening, Amanda Lemos, Verna Jandiroba. And this is the final lock of the week, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm not doing a special timestamp for the locks. You got to figure out who they are. I just gave them out. I did a quick show. You should have wrote them down. You should have made the bet already. You're going to take the final lock here, Amanda Lemos, plus 110 to finish the parlay. How is she a dog? I don't know, but I'm going to take advantage because Verna Jandiroba won her last 3. She's due for the loss. And bang, bang, she beat Lupita Godinez, Marina Rodriguez, Angela Hill, all decision. She's not able to get a finish. She lost to Amanda Ribas by a decision, and I'm pretty sure she lost to Mackenzie Dern, didn't she? She did. Unanimous decision. And Mackenzie Dern recently just lost to Amanda Lemos by unanimous decision, so it's a pretty obvious pick here. You got to look a little bit farther back to get the confidence you need to make this a lock, but it's there. Amanda Lemos is a rifle pick in this fight. She's not the rightful favorite. I don't know why she's not the favorite, but I don't really care. We're getting plus 110, and the lock of the week is an underdog with 2 favorites. Well, not 2 favorites. I gave you a coin flip fight, Luana, Carolina, a favorite, Miranda, Maverick. You take 3 women's fighters, you 6 times your money, and you get paid. Amanda Lemos went 5 rounds with Weili Zhang. Her cardio was checked in. She looked good. She came back, got the win against Mackenzie Dern, a girl that beat Verna Jandiroba. This should be an easy win. Ladies, ooh, my voice is losing it here. This should be an easy win. Ladies and gentlemen, the locks are officially set. And the bet is in. Amanda Lemos, with the cardio, with the striking accuracy, with the speed, with the power. Look at her Instagram. Her striking is looking incredible. She's working on it. Verna Jandiroba, in my opinion, is low output, low accuracy. She can hardly see out of her 2 eyes, and she's not getting this one done. Marina Rodriguez was knocked out with the hooks to Amanda Lemos. Verna Jandiroba showed no finishing potential in that fight. This is an easy prediction. I'm getting worked up. This is a fight that gets me excited. We're getting an underdog, and we're locking it in. Trusting the instinct, grabbing our balls, standing tall. Let's get these locks to hit. We're going to have 9 in a row. We're going to be steaming hot, and we're going nowhere. The Fight Fiend forecast is here to stay. Verna Jandiroba, so long to you. Your last 3 fights, all boring decisions. You're getting a co-main event spot. Or, sorry, a main event spot. You should be in a co-main event. I can't believe this is a main event, but we're going to sit back. We're going to relax, and we're going to get paid. It is what it is. It's a stinky card, but nonetheless, I said this last week. If it's a good card, if it's a bad card, if we got the best fighters in the world, if we got the worst fighters in the world, we're going to make the most of it, and we're going to make money. That's what I'm here to do, give you some confident picks, help you guys make some money. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I got Hyder, Amil as the dog of the week, my most confident dog at plus money, plus 150 to be exact. Dog of the week. Clearly he's plus money. That's obvious, right? So I got a lot of dogs, though. I'm going to go through each and every dog pick one more time. We got Brian Kelleher, Hyder Amil, Kurt Holobaugh. Luana Carolina was a dog. We're taking Amanda Lemos. So the dogs are barking. The women's fighters are purring. We're locking them in. The locks are set in stone. We're not turning back at this point. We're just focused on Saturday, and we're going to see what happens. Trust in the instinct. Hopefully everybody has enjoyed the Fight Fiend forecast for another week. The full card prediction show is over, and we're going to be back for the props and parlay show Friday night. I'll give you a parlay. I'll give you some props. Forecast of the week. Most confident forecaster is going to give their play at plus money. It's probably going to be Frank Bush. Last week it was another loss, okay? It was Gabriel Bonfim submission. He got a decision, which would have paid a hell of a lot more, but we did not see that coming. It is what it is. Frank Bush, he's going to come back and he's going to attack the bookies once again. We're going to put another unit on his bet, see how it goes. I'll give it out to everybody on the props and parlay show. The locks are in. The dog is in. So I don't have to give that out on the props and parlay show, but I still will if you didn't watch the full card prediction show. You got 3 locks. They're all women's fighters. Amanda Lemos, Miranda Maverick, and Luana Carolina, plus 500. And the dog of the week, Hyder Amil, plus 150. Thanks everybody for watching this week. UFC Vegas 94. And before you go, make sure to smash that like button, suplex the subscribe button. I really appreciate that support. And check out the Platinum Forecaster membership that is set up now on YouTube for only $5 a month. I appreciate each and every forecaster and fiend tuning in. We're not going anywheres. We'll be right back.